Up in the ring, Boyd Pierce is ready to introduce this event to you. Let's pick him up.
2 out of 3 falls with a 1-hour time limit. In the red corner, 240 pounds from Florida, Dick Slater. And across the ring, 220 pounds in the white corner from Los Angeles, California, Alberto Madril. Your referee, Danny McShain.
So, this match, 2 out of 3 falls with a 60-minute time limit. Regardless of how these two fellows make out in this match here tonight, both of them will be on the huge card at the Coliseum tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. Alberto Madril will go after world's junior heavyweight champion Nelson Royal in the semifinal, and Dick Slater will be battling Gino Hernandez on that 10-match card at the Coliseum Sunday afternoon. But this was the one that we're settling down to, and Dick Slater, Southern States champion, tough customer. He has been champion of the state of Georgia, champion of the state of Florida, and then the Southern States champion, and he claims that Texas is a Southern state, and therefore he should ipso facto be recognized as champion of the state of Texas. Standing arm lock as Madril now maneuvers into a position to slam him down to the deck. And the hold is an arm bar. Now Slater's a colorful character whom many people compare to Terry Funk. And since Terry Funk is rated as the toughest of the Funks, it's not a bad comparison. Wing lock as he maneuvers that arm around. He's back to the bar, which doesn't mean much to you, but it means much to Dick Slater. Solid move. And oh, how Alberto Madril caught him that time and whipped him around. Dick Slater, man who is as well known at the Omni in Atlanta and in the huge arena in Miami as he is in New York City. He's a well-traveled individual, and his comparatively short career here in the state of Texas, he's only been here a few times, he has made a lasting impression. Dick Slater caught in the arm lock as Madril is backed up into the ropes, where Slater is hoping the referee's going to break it, and break it he is. And watch out for Dick Slater. He has a propensity for suddenly switching styles, and he can become a buzzsaw almost immediately. Oh, how he caught him and how he whipped him. He's beautiful maneuver to slam him down to that deck. So Slater, his hand is starting to turn as white as that bandage that's on it from what turns out to be a lack of circulation as the hold is tightened up and plied. You're getting a look at his face underneath that other taped portion of his body. I'll tell you, he goes in that ring with knee pads, elbow pad, wrist bandage on one hand. And Madril caught him well. And look out, you could have a fall here. He's trying to wrap him up. Whoops! Alberto Madril took advantage of his long legs that time and was able to whip him over. And Madril's going for the wrap up. There's one, there's two, and Slater did it that time. Quick move, nice move by Alberto Madril. I'll tell you, they both avoided what could have been sure pinning holes, and Madril, as he hangs on to this one, must be aware that he came awfully close to being pinned And I'm sure that underneath, even though he's caught in a hole, Dick Slater has much the same feeling of gratitude for the good fortune he had in getting out of it. And Dick Slater just climbed over that rope, and now Madril just dragged him back in over it, and McShain is just letting it stand. Actually, Slater was entitled to a break as when he did make the outside of the ring, no matter how he made it.
5 minutes.
But at the 5-minute mark here, Alberto Madril does not have the total advantage. Dick Slater, first chance he has had to uncork anything, because Alberto Madril has kept him busy and has worked in on him. And there is a nice escape, a move reminiscent of Luthez, and Alberto Madril comes up with a hammerlock. And Dick Slater is caught, and caught for sure. Madril getting the go-ahead from these fans. One more. They raise the hands all over the ringside here in the Coliseum, egging Alberto Madril. There you see him responding as those fingers go up in the air for one more. Of course, it could mean that Madril is #1. He's the #1 challenger for the world's junior heavyweight title. He has lost some 10 pounds in the past 2 weeks in order to qualify for his match with Nelson Royal, the world's junior heavyweight champion, in the Sam Houston Coliseum Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. If you're watching on Saturday night, that means tomorrow, and if you are watching on Sunday morning, that means today. Matches start at 3 o'clock, 10 matches. Matches that will include 8 girls. 8 girls in the ring and a battle royal all at the same time, and a host of other action. Winding up with the world's heavyweight title, Harley Race and Wahoo McDaniel battling inside a cage wrapped around that same ring you're looking at in the Sam Houston Coliseum. The last Sunday wrestling of 1978. Last wrestling at any other time except on Friday nights, this Sunday's matches, so make it your business to be there. This is the biggest card in Houston wrestling history. Oh, how he clobbered him. And now Slater, for the first time, is able to get something going. And by getting it going, he was able to come up here with a similar attack to the one that Madril was using by working after that arm. Oh, this is a tough customer. So Dick Slater, who is known for his dangerous and damaging moves, is uncorking those same moves on Madril. Madril averted the fall that time, but he is still in troubled area. Now Madril that time, I think, did a smart thing. I wouldn't accuse him of anything, but I think he deliberately went outside that ring because things were moving against him, and he felt that out there he'd have a chance to come in just a little bit fresher and a little bit better. It doesn't always work out that way. And in this instance, it is not working out to Madril's satisfaction. That was the back of the arm, the point of the elbow he was aiming for. And Dick Slater rolling Madril over and piling on top of him. The count was 2 when Madril moved his right shoulder and managed to get it up, and he fought his way out of it by using that knee in the head. Slater now trying to cut. Whoa, good move by Madril. Listen to that crowd come alive as Slater's plans to cut Madril to pieces did not work. And Alberto Madril comes in to really pound away and give Dick Slater fits. Madril, they're being told off by Danny McShain. McShain telling him to let Slater out of the corner. Well, it never did quite work. He couldn't put the instructions into focus with Slater taking the top hand. So we've got Slater looking, oh man. That hooking of the leg and taking the arm at the same time, falling back with your opponent is a sure way to drive him into the canvas. And it drove Alberto Madril. 10 minutes have gone by as Slater comes down there to clobber Alberto Madril, but Madril can do his own clobbering. And he is doing his own clobbering. And he is picking his spots. And this could be it. There's Madril on top. There is one, there is two. We're still in the first fall of this match, and Madril just missed an opportunity that time. A few more wallops may take the balance of the fight out of Dick Slater. Slater will meet the same kind of an opponent in the Coliseum this afternoon. A young man like Dickie Slater, a young man like Alberto Madril, I beg your pardon. And Madril will meet a man like Slater in world's champion Nelson Royal, junior heavyweight champion. Royal probably does a little more wrestling, but he is equally as tough. Slater going for a pile driver, but he is caught in the back body drop. That's the defense for that particular move. And Dickie Slater caught it right on the tailbone, but as Madril moves in, there it is. He caught him with that cradle hold and wrapped him up, and
the winner
Slater
of the first ball,
did
11
something.
minutes, 36 seconds, Dick Slater.
He did something for which he is famous, coming up with the surprise wrestling move, the pinning hold, and just when it looks like things are toughest for him. We'll be back here in a moment after we have this word from the studio.
The bell.
Well, this crowd has been pounding out a rhythmic applause to Alberto Madril, and much to the irritation of Dick Slater. Now, Slater is one fall ahead, and Slater is in a good position. But the crowd here was just getting under his skin. And he's arguing with referee Danny McShain that McShain should tell these people to stop beating their hands together and encouraging Alberto Madril. McShain is smart enough to know where his limits are, and he's well aware that those limits come when he tries to tell the crowd anything. Outside, Dick Slater. That's the way Madril gets this crowd going. You can hear him literally barking like dogs all over this place as they try to irritate Slater. And Slater, smart. He may be young, but he is a veteran in skill, and his maneuvering in that ring and trying to shut off these fans and to not go after Madril while he's being antagonized illustrates that he's not going to be bugged into anything. So Alberto Madril moved in, tried to upset Slater's routine and failed. He's going for an atomic drop, dropped him on his knee and on that cold, hard Coliseum concrete, and right into a chair in which lately a policeman has been sitting, and He's hoping now that's going to keep Madril out on the floor. McShain tolling the count. Fans giving it all toward Alberto Madril, trying to encourage Madril. And Madril has been thoroughly encouraged. You see him as he comes up, he has some of that encouragement in his hand. The encouragement has 4 legs. But Madril now has decided that he has lost the element of surprise or attack. And the crowd here is now getting after Slater, and they are really vocal and noisy. Madril outside, and Slater crowding just a little bit too much. Nice move by Alberto Madril. And he's giving Slater as good as he was getting. Whoops, sleep hold. Tough spot for Alberto Madril. Dick Slater come in there to apply the sleep hold. Whether or not it's a strangle is hard to tell. McShain examines. Does not break. Tests. The test is to see whether Madril is asleep. Holding that hold too long after it has taken effect will damage the brain by a lack of oxygen. And evidently Madril has not lost consciousness, and McShain has been able to discover this and to permit the match to go on. Slater now losing his hold, losing his grip, and he snatched him by the hair that time. Oh, good move by Madril. Tough customer, Dick Slater. And Alberto using that chopping blow coming down across the nose and the mouth can, whoops. Just when I was talking about coming down across the nose and mouth, he come up there with that left and literally drove his teeth out. So Slater hung up for the moment, but he faces a worse fate as Madril stays close to him. And Madril gets a lot of enthusiastic support from these fans as the 5-minute mark is called. He's on top. There's 2. He needs that equalizing fall. He almost got it. McShain said no, it was just a 2 count. I'll tell you one thing, Nelson Royal, world's junior heavyweight champion, will face a man who's in condition when he meets Alberto Madril Sunday afternoon in the Coliseum with the world's junior heavyweight title at stake. And that's the best weapon a man can have. And here is Madril. There's 1, there's 2, and there, whoa! He just barely got out from underneath there, and some of the fans are bugging McShain. They think that a good fast count should have been in order, and at that time, outside on the floor, Alberto Madril. The same stunning blow, and it put Dick Slater down in one direction, and it put Alberto Madril outside that ring. Madril avoiding that deftly, and woo! He was driven arm first and shoulder first into the into the ring post. And here is Slater looking for, and here is Madril wrapping him up. There it is, a 3 count, and Alberto Madril is given the count of 3, and he is whipped through the ropes, and he is but he is knocked out of the floor, and the winner of the second fall, the equalizing fall, is Alberto Madril, but he took a bad spill on the concrete, a hard fall. He had injured his shoulder up against this ring post, and he is lying on the floor, still holding the shoulder. We'll be back here in a moment after this word from the studio. So up in the ring, Danny McShain gets back in. We are still in the intermission period between the second and third falls. Madril on the outside of the ring holding that arm and that shoulder. After being run into this ring post, he was still able to
1 minute,
not only avoid defeat by Dick Slater, but he was able to pin Dick Slater with that small package roll up, and you can see the solicitous move of Irish Danny McShain, who knows how it feels to hurt an arm or hurt anything else in that in that ring. So Slater is anxious to get at Alberto Madril. We have a little more than 30. There are 30 seconds left in this intermission period between falls, and McShain examining Alberto Madril, and evidently Madril
15 seconds.
has an injured deltoid muscle or the bone. It's a little hard to tell. It's up a little bit high right on the edge of the shoulder.
2, 1.
And McShain, as the bell rings, wants to examine that, and he is not. He is. He's going to stop the match and give it to Dick Slater. And some of the people who would fight to the last drop of Madril's blood say no, 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 and McShain has made the decision to stop this match because of the injury to Madril's shoulder. And that is it as far as the third fall and the match. You notice that Madril is not objecting too strenuously. He is here. He knows that he's hurt. We'll be back here in a moment. Probably one of the strangest questions I ever hear is when somebody says to me, did Irish Danny McShain ever wrestle? Danny, do you get that question?
I do, yes, but I did so for about 30 years total, Paul, perhaps a little more. And along the way held most of the belts in my weight division, junior heavyweight as well as the light heavyweight division, each one approximately 3.5 years, total of 7 for world titles, and of course all the state titles. Yes, I've taken a bump or two and put in the hospital a few times, and got well, got back in the ring, and went at it again, Paul, as most of the other men do.
Well, tell me, we have been showing now the best of Texas wrestling, and you were involved in some of the best of Texas wrestling, but what is your opinion now of the young man who wrestles today?
Well, you mean in general, Paul? I think you've got a lot of great talent coming along, and there's a lot of great wrestlers here. And I referee a lot of them, and I'm in a position to watch and tell and learn more, of course, as to what their ability is by being in close than I would be even in an audience. And Paul, you've got a lot of very fine talent coming along. And this boy Les Thornton, I refereed a number of his matches before he won the title. Let me tell you, he's something else. I've got a great respect for him, and I told him before he won the title, I said, one day you're going to be champion. You're good enough that you'll follow through, and he did. He won it.
Well, tell me, people say, could you whip the wrestlers of today?
Yes, a lot of them said that, and do say it rather. If I were young, and as young as they, yes, I could whip my portion of them. There might be one along the way that would nail me, but I'm not so super that I would have beat them all without fail. No one is that super. But I could have beaten my share of them, and did when my time was, ripe. But right now I say that I have a great respect for a great many of them in there. I can name a lot of them, but I don't want to start any bad jealousy talk.
You see, a good champion is always cautious.